Bill Belichick treats them like they're children, and they are not. They are fully grown adults. This is their job.
I don't want to be treated like I have to talk to you like a drill sergeant. What would be the opposite of a dark horse?
Like
the most
It would be a team that's
most
the most overrated. They're super hyped, but they're not going to perform.
Okay, well, in that circumstance, thank you for setting me up. The most disappointing team
Is the
in
LA Chargers.
2022
Is the
will
LA
be the New
Chargers.
England. How could you? I'm just genuinely
Coaching.
curious. Because of the pieces that they add, that's why they're going to be.
Let me start off with.
They're so hyped up right now. I know what you're
so
going
They
to
are hyped up. They are hyped
They're
up.
so hyped, and they missed the playoffs last year. I've never seen a team that missed the playoffs last year, except for the Eagles. Let me say, that missed the playoffs last year, that gets so much hype and like for what, bro?
Why'd they miss the playoffs?
People are
Why
talking
do you
about them-
think they missed the playoffs? Let me ask you.
Actually, did the Eagles make the playoffs last year?
Yeah, they did.
They
As a
didn't
wild
made
card.
it at the end, so I missed that.
Why did the Chargers miss the playoffs? Why do you think?
They missed the playoffs because they didn't win enough games to make the playoffs, bro.
Why
Don't
did
come
they
at me-
lose
Don't come at me
games?
with these little like analytical.
Why did they lose games? Why did they lose games?
Because they didn't.
Because they don't have a
because
defense.
They scored less
Defense
than
is
the
booty
other.
hole.
Their
Because they
defense is.
scored less than the other team.
Thank you, Captain Obvious, but they don't have a fucking
You
defense.
asking me the damn
They
question.
they don't have a defense. So you got Austin Eckler back there. You got Keenan Allen. Now you had Isaiah Spiller. Yes, your tight end's kind of
Well, Isaiah
a
Spiller,
concern.
man.
But my thing is this. Offense has never been in question. They say defense wins championships for a reason.
They do.
The reason that the Chargers didn't make the playoffs is because of their defense. So what do? We address a deficiency. We go out and get J.C. Jackson. We trade for Khalil Mack. I got a healthy Derwin James back. I have Joey Bosa. These are pieces that can be the cornerstone of my defense moving forward.
Cool, you're overlooking the system. A bunch of these pieces, put them together. I don't know what you
Bro, it's
got,
been
bro.
2 years in. You're 100%
don't know what you
right,
got.
but I'm just countering the fact
here's
that
the thing.
I'm just countering the fact that I don't think they're going to be a disappointment because they go out and
They will.
get the pieces that they
here's
need.
here's my thing.
They'll miss the playoffs. Book that.
Oh,
That's
that's not happening.
crazy. I'm
No,
hot.
I don't think they're a
They'll miss the
Super Bowl.
playoffs.
I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. I don't think they're missing the playoffs. But people are hyping them up like, oh, this could be the best team in the AFC. This could be the best team in football this year.
We don't know what we're
And
getting.
bro, like Brandon Staley is just simply put. I don't think he's a good enough coach to get them past that level, past that hump.
Bro, he looks like he should be selling raisins at like Costco, man. Like,
If the AFC
who the fuck
West,
is Brandon Staley, dog?
Selling raisins.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like you're walking through the aisle with your mom, and like there's like the people like giving you the free samples and shit.
got
Go
Ra-
California Dry.
that explains
Come on,
so
get outta
much.
here.
If you're getting the raisin samples, you health freak. Who
Hey,
the
man, I
fuck
don't
eats
get no
the
raisins.
Yo,
raisins
raisins are
at
good.
Costco though? The hot dogs?
Oh yeah,
The
bro.
pizza?
the hot dog.
Yeah, but
the
those aren't
ice
samples. You got to
cream?
pay for those.
That's true, but it's $3 and it's
That's
a
a fact.
hot dog and a large Coke
man.
is like $3.
Pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
You'd be
But
shitting yourself after.
if
but-
they're not, if the AFC West isn't as loaded, I'm
Right.
still, I don't think they're as disappointed. They're going to win that division if the AFC West is not that loaded.
Oh, if they're not- the AFC West is
the
not
division
loaded,
is so
gotcha.
loaded, so they could disappoint, and that's the reason. For me, the most disappointing team this year will be the New England Patriots, and here's why. For the first time ever, have we actually seen beat writers speaking out about how poorly the team looks. Now, it's the beat writer's job to be positive in some way, to give some sense
It's
of
not.
confidence.
It's to report. It's to report.
It's to report, but at the same time, the same way you're buying everything that is being said in 49ers camp, the reason they're buying the Trey Lance is every single reporter is here to give off this somewhat false sense of confidence. I'm buying it with the Dolphins. Every single thing you see is confidence. And finally, the New England Patriots beat writers are completely saying that this is the worst that they've looked in so many years. You lose Shaq Mason, you lose J.C. Jackson. Who do you go out and add to help out that great wide receiver core? Devontae Parker. You know what Devontae Parker excels in?
Mid.
Losing his hamstring by week 5.
That's true. You would know as a Dolphin fan.
As a Dolphins fan. So all I'm trying to say is, do you believe that Mac Jones is good enough to elevate Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith? This is a mid-tier team. And when you put Matt Patricia as your offensive coordinator, who was a defensive-minded guy, who was your DC for all these years,
Isn't he DC? They don't
and
have
the
awesome-
OC, they don't.
They don't have an OC.
They're a clusterfuck.
And
They're actually
Bill Belichick is a defensive coach.
And
And they're actually not. And you're giving everything you're saying right now. Just all I hear is Dolphins bias.
No.
Because
I'm kind of with him. I think the way that Bill Belichick coaches, his coaching style and everything,
Wins 7 Super
No,
Bowls?
no.
I don't think it translates to newer players.
Yes.
It
You
never
just
has.
said wins 8 Super Bowls. I'm talking about, or let me rephrase. You
Has
said
won.
wins has won 8 Super Bowls. This generation of NFL athletes is highly ADD driven. Think about us in the league. We're 25 years old. Think about putting us in the league. I don't want to be treated like I have to talk to you like a drill sergeant.
Bill Belichick treats them like they're children, and they are not. They are fully grown adults. This is their job.
Facts.
That's cool.
If we had a boss that treated us the way that he treats them, you're not going to want to play for him. Back in the day, you could do that.
I disagree. I disagree.
Of course you disagree.
every
You and
year-
I have a bet against the Dolphins and the Patriots having a better record.
Every year, man. This isn't just 2022 that this is being said about Bill and the Patriots.
Yes, it is.
No, it's every year, bro.
I haven't heard anyone like talking down the Patriots since I've been alive.
This is if you turn on Twitter, this will be the first time that you see actually people being like concerned about what's going on in New
You're
England.
talking about the beat reports talking about concern. I've seen beat reports talk about Mac Jones is having an amazing camp.
God, I'm
The
sweating.
Patriots had a horrible team last year and made the playoffs. The Patriots
And
have
did they get
lost.
better? Did they get better?
Bro, you mentioned players they lost. They've lost Malcolm Butler in the past. They've lost Jamie Collins in the past. They've lost Dante Hightower in the past. They've lost so many good players and have not missed a beat.
Felipe.
Every offseason, people like you come on the air and they're like, or go on Twitter, a little Twitter finger action, and they're like, oh man, the Patriots, man, they're not going to overcome this one. And every year they do.
Felipe.
Every
It's
year
a
they do.
passing league. Who is your wide receiver one? Devontae Parker. Who's your wide receiver two?
Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick
Niner
Bourne.
legend.
Niner
I don't
legend.
care about their receivers.
Okay, but at some point the system runs out. The writing is on the wall that Bill Belichick's time in the NFL is coming to an end. And
As
if
a
they
Dolphins
go
fan.
under 500, which is what I think they will do, I think they go 8-9.
I think 9-8, but yeah,
9-8,
Under 500 is
8-9. When the New
England
England Patriots go under 500, the conversation is not going to be necessarily about Mac Jones. It's going to be, is Bill Belichick wash?
I don't know how you can be washed when you won a Super Bowl like 4 years ago. But
4 years ago, the
With
same way
Tom Brady.
the same way people are talking about Frank Reich. Is he the right guy to still be a head coach? Yet he won a fucking Super Bowl with Nick Foles in fucking with
but
Doug
not
Peterson.
Not as a head coach.
yeah, no, it's
But he was the offensive coordinator, and everyone credited Nick Foles' success to him. All I'm just trying to say is this: I believe in the system, but at some point the system runs out. And if you don't want to be treated like a drill sergeant, and I don't add talent around you, and I lose pieces, no matter how good they were last year, you lose pieces.
You see it in every sport too. Like in baseball, Tony La Russa is a Hall of Fame manager. Now he's managing the White Sox, and he is a shit show. He's horrible. Might be one of the worst managers in baseball. You saw it with Phil Jackson once the Lakers kind of in their down years and stuff. He couldn't really do it anymore. At some point, the league catches up to you.
Yes.
I feel like we're starting to see that, and that's in any sport. You see it in any sport. Like,
that's a fair take if you give it enough time for that take to develop. We haven't given it enough time for this take to develop, bro.
No, we're predicting that this year is going to be the year
Alabama
for
runs
that.
the same system, but in college.
College is different,
Are
bro.
they running?
College is different because
College
if
is
you're Bama,
different, but we're comparing
if you're
baseball, but
Bama,
college is
you
different.
you drop some Ferrari keys in a McDonald's bag, and you're like, yo, you want to play for this? Like, fuck yeah, I
Sure,
do.
it's a big-
And you get every single player you want.
You want an
And
F-12? You want
Yeah.
a Spider? You want a LaFerrari? You tell me. We'll get it for you. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Let's ride.
Nick Saban does that. They get every best player every single year.
I agree.
Like,
But at the same time, when we're talking about this like drill sergeant, the way they've been coaching. All right, give it a few more years, and then we can see if it doesn't translate to a win. All I'm saying is, let's take the most recent occurrence, right? Last season, they had a bad team and made the playoffs. So I don't see how we can.
They got worse.
Okay, we'll see this year.
So
We'll see this
here's
year.
we're gonna end it. We'll end that at this because right here, where's the camera? Is it this camera? The New England Patriots are going to be the most disappointing team in 2022, and they are going to go under 500. And Bill Belichick's name is potentially going to be thrown around as leaving New England after this year.
you think he's gonna be fired?
No, I'm saying people are going to be like, is the writing on the wall for the New England Patriots?
I
and
thought
Bill
you meant
Belichick?
like, yo, like.
No, I said it's on the wall. It's on the wall. I don't
Unless
think he
they
gets
go
fired.
0-17.
Not at all. I don't think he ever gets fired. I think he leaves on his own terms.
I do won a Super Bowl not that long ago, bro. That's all I'm saying. I need more years, and it's not like what's his name on the Eagles that got cut, Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl and got cut a couple years after, but the team went to fucking shit. The Patriots made the playoffs last year. So
Okay,
let
so
me
we'll
see
see
them go
this
to
year.
shit.
We'll see
And
this
then
year.
maybe.
Make a bet.
Yeah, all right. We got $150.
You already
We have
have a bet.
Oh, you already do?
$150 that the Dolphins have a better record than the New England Patriots.
I think you
Wait,
bumped it
that's-
up. I think you bumped.
it might be
it's a new
100.
bet?
It's either 100 or 150.
It's 100, but
Okay.
I'll go 150 right now.
I'll do either.
So you got 250?
Okay. $150 that the Miami Dolphins have a better record than the New England Patriots.